Dang, I think we live. I think we live. I think we live. I think we're doing the thing. I think we live. First of all, I guess I gotta apologize for wearing the glasses. Um, you can still see my eyes, but my eyes have been so sensitive to the light, like it's getting crazy. I mean, I work every single day on the computer, and I have to like do eye drops like a lot when I work because my eyes are like so dry. I don't know. I want to say I have computer eyes, but I don't think that's a real thing. I don't just want to be making shit up. Um, but yeah, man, just staring at the computer just get my eyes so tired. Like, so I wanted to stream, so I'm like, man, F it. I'm just gonna put some glasses on and be Mr. Cool Guy. Yeah, that's me. What you gonna do about it? Oh yeah. I'm like, I missed not streaming. Like it's been a couple of days. Um, it's been a couple of days since I stream. I want to see the people. I want to see the people, and I just want to talk about shit. Um, Man, like I said, so much news, so little time. I have so much stuff I want to touch on. Like some of the stuff. Well, let's talk about like what I've been into in general. I've been working on creating a course on IT. And I am going to first of all pilot it for free at high schools for the towns where I live at. It's going to be free for high school students interested in IT in general and pursuing a career in information technology. And my whole pursuit will be to teach them IT or teach them fundamentals that they need to know. But I'll be following, it'll be hands on, a lot of hands on practical stuff. And I'll be following the CompTIA as a guideline or as the source of things to cover because at the moment I don't know what to cover. I could just start all over the place. I could be talking about networking. I could be talking about security the next moment or cloud the next moment. I think the CompTIA give me a good reference on each topic to focus on and each technology to hit within that sector. Although I probably don't have the funding because it's gonna be free to do things like making each student create a free Azure student account. Although they're gonna get that credit, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Hopefully some kids are interested because I mean it's like I said, it's literally a town. I don't live in Florida no more, so it's not like a vast amount of kids. It's gonna be the few that are interested instead of like, you know, farming. Shout out to farming, but I'm more in an area that's farming is more popular than the computer stuff. I think wrong with farming because we need them motherfuckers to eat. You feel me? This is not a shot at them. Damn. But yeah, that's what I've been up to, man. That's what I've been doing. That's been focusing. That's been my focus, consuming a lot of my time. Also, have been working on my own server. I've been building my own server, and it's actually in the back somewhere, right here, right here. I've been working on building my own server, so I can do some demonstrations. Maybe like I want to do some of that later on my channel. I wanted to do my channel to focus on a lot of tech stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, like IT stuff that I'm learning or things that I know, like do little showcases of those kind of things. Because I think, although this is not like let me just speak for me, I can just speak for nobody else. I think representation in the IT, like for black people, I would say, is a little slim. Like, you know, especially for like people who don't have access to, let's say, the greatest stuff from school, like all the big computers and shit like that. Because like me growing up, like I didn't, which is why I'm in this pursuit in general, as a way to give back some of the things that I wish I had that would have made my career so much better. Like it would have made my, like, you know, 10x, like Grant Cardone would say, that would have 10x my career, dude. Like I wish I had somebody to guide me on, like, hey, here's the pitfalls. Don't do this, don't do that. here's what you should do instead. Like, I wish I had that going in my career for sure. Like, so I want to provide that for other potential black or even like kids in general, like younger, I guess young teens and like in their junior senior year, like give them an option. Hey, here's what you can study. Here's what the IT field encompass. Like, hey, you don't have to do programming if you don't like that. If you don't want to sit all day, you don't want to do programming. Keep in mind you are working on a computer. You're gonna be sitting. You know what I'm saying? If you want to interact with people in general, you can do consulting. If you're more into the chasing bad guys, you could do cybersecurity. And but my whole purpose for the program, like I was saying, is to teach them the basics. See if it's something that they're good at. If there are concepts that they understand and that they care to learn more about. I think getting them started early, getting them into it early is good, because if they're not interested, then they know early on. They know, like junior, senior, you already know, yeah, IT is not for me. I don't want to do nothing in there. I don't want to do database administration. Like, if you're really into numbers, you know what I'm saying, you could become a data analyst. Like, you can become a data scientist, like a database admin. Like, there's so many different routes you can take, even as the mathematician or statistician. Like, there's so many things that you can do. Oh man, so much stuff to talk about. Talking about statisticians, I am working on a short, like, little documentary on how numbers are used to misguide you. How, like, statistics can be used to represent a false picture. You know what I mean? Like people use numbers to represent whatever they want it to represent, instead of painting, because you could use numbers to paint a different picture than someone else can, or than someone else would. You could say, I don't know, I'm trying to find a good example. This is a joke from a comedian. When he was talking about how every time in the news it'd be like, let's say 50% of the crimes in America are committed by African Americans or black people, right? But they make, let's say, 35%, 20% of the population, some shit like that. Like, that number on the face of it alone is like, whoa, you're committing half of the murders and you're not even half of the population. But if you keep digging into it, like, what does that number really mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, the 50%, although this is a joke, okay? This is, like, mind you, this is a joke that a comedian told. Like, that 50% that blacks are killing, it's 49% other black people. So white people shouldn't be scared. It's some stupid jokes like that. But what I'm saying is, behind the data, what does it really mean? I just want to show how people use data to misrepresent a picture, to paint a false picture, or how people misuse data to punish the poor or people in less able financial situations. Okay. I think that's a quick update on what I've been going on in the background. I mean, for the more not tech savvy, techie people, and my I guess in my audience who watches my stuff, I've been working on piloting Autopilot as our provisioning software. That's been going pretty well. Just instituting all the policies, it's been kind of let's just say tedious. That's the word I'm looking for. It's been tedious to deal with. It's just been really, really tedious, but it's been going really well. And my hope is to pilot it and prove its worth, so it can replace the current system, which is MDT. I think it's slow. I think MDT is slow. I think Autopilot is great. I want to get it to the point where um, we use CDW to do the autopiloting for us, where the device already comes ready. You don't have to do anything to it. All you got to do is ship it to the person, to the end user, and that's it. So that sounds like a great project. Oh, and I think as well we'll benefit greatly from managing devices on the cloud, because now every time there is an update, right? Like whenever we have a security update, like Patch Tuesdays, like we can't update some of those devices. Like for right now, I am deploying an agent, like a security agent, to for one of the vulnerability scanners that we're trying out, and I can't deploy it to some of the devices because those people are not connected to the VPN, or they have two devices. They leave their laptop at home and they bring it. It's a shit show. It's a mess. So like if you have, just Azure joined devices, you don't have to worry about them connecting to the VPN. As long as they connect to the internet, the next time it checks in, the update will be pushed, So I like that side of it. Like the reduction of VPN, everything is done over the internet. That's beautiful. I like it. So I have high hopes for this project, man. I have high hopes for it. I just hope I can get a buy-in. I can hope everybody buys in like I like I am buying into it. Sheesh. Okay. I think that's all I have going on. Well, that's not it. I've been flooded and busy. I am moving soon. I am leaving this apartment. I think, like right now, I currently live in the freaking Midwest, and I don't know, man. Like, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I like it here because it's quiet. Like, there's nothing like take the little pillow out. I like it here because it's very quiet. But at the same time, I have nothing to do. Like, and like, there aren't that many people, at least not where I'm at, to like enjoy or party with or have fun, or like even if you wanted to go to a nice restaurant, get a nice cocktail, enjoy a nice scenery, a nice vibe. None of that. Like I feel like sometimes I'm just here to work and strictly to work. I do go out, and if I do have to go out, I have to drive like hour at least away just to have like a really good time, or like 2 hours away, 3 hours. I don't know, man. I don't know what it's worth at this moment, but we'll see. Although rent right now is really cheap over here, so I will take that. I will take cheap rent for now, okay? Because I don't know how much longer I can take it, man. But yeah, long story short, I am moving. I'm going to a new apartment. I hope I can make it better. I hope I can make it and use it to make the stream better in a different way. So we'll see. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but we'll see. We shall see. Oh boy. And the most IT news ever. I mean, if we're already on this path, what I'm saying, we have to continue on and just yapping. For the people just coming in, wearing the glasses because of light sensitivity. Yeah, so it's not me just being a jerk. Okay, all right. On the first like real IT news, diverting nicely off of like IT topics, the EU, as we know, the EU doesn't slow down. They don't wait for nobody. They're always trying to be ahead of everything, trying to regulate everything. So they made the first step into regulating AI. They passed the first law. They passed the first act or the first law to prohibit AI. Or the first act. It might be a little harder for me to see the screen with these glasses on, but hey. we got to talk about these. So let's get straight to it. European lawmakers pass AI Act, world's first comprehensive AI law. Brussels, European lawmakers approved the world's most comprehensive legislation yet on social intelligence. LOL, on artificial intelligence, setting out sweeping rules for developers of AI systems and new restrictions on how the technology can be used. I mean, the majority of this, like some of the rules here, I feel like I was gonna read this verbatim. I already know about what happened or what occurred. Basically, it's just the most basic shit. Like they're saying, hey, you cannot train your AI on art. You cannot use the Mona Lisa. You cannot use, people's artwork or books to train your AI so it can learn shit. You can't do that. You can't just steal my YouTube video to train Sora on how to create videos. Shit like that. So I hope it'll just say what it banned. The new legislation applies to AI products in the EU markets, regardless of where they were developed. It is backed by fines of up to 7% of a company's worldwide revenue. That's a lot. They're coming for a big pie. That is a lot of money. What is it blog? I mean, all this means is just that they just have to find ways to bypass it. Just like the EU have like different rules around like other stuff like Apple can do around their part of town. They still find ways to circumvent it. Let's watch the video instead. Let's see what these old folks talking about.
What is its goal, and what is the risk here, as is true with a lot of AI regulation, that the technology will outrun the regulations and the regulators?
Tyler, thank you so much for having me. At Credo AI, we've been on a mission to ensure that AI is always in service of humanity. And what that means is we have a governance platform that provides that continuous oversight and accountability across all the organizations and their AI. Yesterday was a pretty historic moment with this really landmark regulation passed by the European Parliament. Now, what that means is any artificial intelligence that is going to be deployed in Europe will need to go through pretty strict scrutiny under this law. Obviously, if you are a European provider of AI systems, and even if you're deploying these AI systems outside of Europe, you can imagine that there's going to be pretty massive implications.
So let me interrupt, if I might, Navrina, and ask you.
But the one thing I don't currently like about the AI sphere, on a technical standpoint, I feel like companies are using it like a marketing term. Everything has AI when it's just like a machine learning in there that's been in the freaking product. Like everything is AI now with AI. The chat bot that used to be on everything, now that's AI. Like I feel like it's more of we've been talking to like robots on websites for the longest of times, you know what I mean? Like, but now every freaking company that offers a solution that has the ability to chat with you or give you some fucking substandard answers, it's all AI. Like what the fuck? Like if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Like sometimes you go to these websites where they don't have really customer service where you could chat in live with someone. It's just like prompts after prompts. What is your current problem? And then they'll give you the number to the correct department. Now it's not just like a speak to Sam, Sammy the robot. Now it's using artificially AI called Sam. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a marketing gimmick. It's all like a marketing ploy.
EU and are launching products which are powered by artificial intelligence, yes, you will need to comply with this new EU AI Act. As you can imagine,
does this just sort of lay the groundwork for everyone else around the website?
It's a very comprehensive risk management framework associated with any AI that is going to get launched in Europe. And what that means is, obviously, if you have an artificial intelligence application which is high risk, it requires higher level of scrutiny and oversight before it goes on the European market. And then lastly, what is really critical is a need for quality management system is key part of this Euro.
I want to find more of the things that are banned or the things that you cannot do within this act, because I know using other people's data to train your AI is one of them. Oh boy. But I always say, man, the EU, they move really fast, which is great, which is really great, which is good news because, like, I mean, the US is not moving at all. We're not moving fast. We'd rather make no actions at all than like do something. Like it's kind of crazy actually. Okay, I think this is more like a snippet, like a more quick bite. Um, Here are MIT Technology Review's key takeaways. The AI Act ushers in important binding rules of transparency and ethics. Tech companies love to talk about how committed they are to AI ethics, but when it comes to concrete measures, the conversation dries up, and and any in any way, action speaks louder than words. Okay, I like that. Responsible AI teams are often the first to see cuts during layoffs, and in truth, tech companies can decide to change their AI ethics policies at any time. OpenAI, for example, started off as an open AI research lab before closing up public access to its research to protect its competitive advantage, just like every other AI startup. AI is just a business. Like, I think for any of those AI companies, if you go to them and be like, okay, you can train an AI to be very evil. You can program it, put it in a bot, and it will hurt everyone, or however many robots you create, right? Will hurt a lot of people besides you. I think us as humans, I think that motherfucker who has that power will do it. Like when people talk about ethics and AI, I think it's as ethical as we allow it to be, because humans love to test their boundaries. We love to test how far can we take it. And that's how we made a lot of advances, if I'm being honest, because we like to push the boundaries and see how far we can take shit. And AI won't be any different. Like we'll try to put that shit in everything. Like AI cooking, AI dildo. Well, who knows what they're gonna do with it? Okay. Long story short, I'm just saying we're gonna push the boundaries of AI. Although some of it might be gimmicks, there will be some good products or some good, very useful products that come out of it. I hope most of it do come out to be good in the realms of aiding disabled people. I think in that area, AI has a lot of potential to be great in helping disabled people and people who are like bedbound and paraplegic and shit like that. I don't know what this is. Watermarking. It'll also require them to label deepfakes of AI-generated content and design system in such a way that AI-generated media can be detected. That's good. I've always talked about this as well. This is a step beyond the voluntary commitments that leading AI companies made to the White House to simply develop AI provenance tools such as watermarking. Okay, they haven't been doing that really. AI companies still have a lot of room to wiggle. Okay. Let's see what this is talking about. The EU will become the world's premier AI police. I mean, for a lot of technology, the EU is like bar none as far as like acting decisively and making the right decision. Like when it comes to the technology of USB-C, very good on the EU. Like I always wondered like why we don't have a freaking, like I think everyone who's in IT wanted the same crap. Like why can't we have a single standard cable that can transmit data and provide power? You know what I mean? Like anyways, and they did that. Like they be like, Apple, if you want to sell here, you're gonna need to do USB-C like everyone else gonna do, and that's it. You either do it or you don't sell here no more. which is good. I like that. See. The AI Act governance mechanism also includes a scientific panel of independent experts to offer guidance on the systemic risks AI poses and how to classify and test models. National security always wins. Before I even read this, I haven't even read this, at least this article. Like I was talking banter with a coworker about using AI and firewalls and things like that. It's a very important conversation in terms of like security in general. I don't know about national security, but security appliances that uses AI, like a firewall or like a IPS, IDS, things like that. I think it'll be very interesting because the AI are technically always learning and they can adopt faster than a new definition can be updated to that firewall. I think that would be cool, like learning of not just of heuristics and just learning shit that's happening like right now. Yeah, I think AI has a lot of opportunities to be in there. Can I build it? No. But do I think it would be a good idea? Yes. Some AI use are not completely banned in the EU. Biometric categorization systems that use sensitive characteristic, untargeted scraping of facial images from the internet or CCTV footage to create facial recognition databases like Clearview AI. Facts. I like that. Like you can just use people's pictures to train your AI. You know what I'm saying? Like no. Emotion recognition at work or in schools. Social scoring. AI systems that manipulate human behavior. And AI that is used to exploit people's vulnerabilities. I don't think you can stop that. I don't think AI companies are the one forcing that onto people. Like that's just scammers, bro. Every technology that exists, every piece of technology that ever exists, people will find a way to take advantage of it. And AI will be just another piece of tool to accomplish the end goal. That's it. Predictive policying is also banned unless it is used with clear human assessment and objective facts, which basically do not simply leave the decision of going after a certain individual in a criminal investigation only because an algorithm says so. That's going to be really interesting. I like that. Because somebody made a joke about Sora, which is the text generated AI. Like actually my friend, he's like, imagine you didn't commit a crime, right? And all of a sudden they generated a video of you committing said crime. And be like, oh no, we have video evidence of you doing it. But you didn't actually do it. It's just AI generated. I think that's a good one too. But although it's dealing with a different type of thing, it's like predicting that somebody's about to commit a crime. Let's say I'm sitting here right now, and the AI picked up my search terms, like because I Google bombs or I Google what happened in X, Y, and day, who made the biggest bomb. Like if I start searching shit like that, and they can predict that in the future I'm about to commit some kind of mass atrocity without taking into account that maybe I'm just a student of chemistry, you know, studying chemistry, shit like that. However, the AI Act does not apply to AI systems that have been developed exclusively for military and defense use, of course. Of course not. Yeah, fuck it, let's go to war. Fuck it, let's go to war. Let's create more war and less peace, motherfuckers. One of the bloodiest fights over the AI Act has always been how to regulate police use of biometric systems in public places, which many fear could lead to mass surveillance. While the European Parliament pushed for a near total ban on the technology, some EU countries such as France have resisted this fiercely. They wanted to use it to fight crime and terrorism. European police forces, man, I think like people are definitely gonna use this shit to watch people, of course. How could they not? Like facial recognition. Like I'm sure that shit already exists. Like the movies, like, you know, they point a camera at you and it says, oh, this is X, Y, and Z, this is this person, this is how tall they are, estimated age. I'm sure this exists somewhere. Somebody is testing it. European police force will only be able to use biometric identification systems in places if they get court approval first, and only for 16 different specific crimes such as terrorism, human trafficking, sexual exploit of children, and drug trafficking. Law enforcement authorities may also use high-risk AI systems that don't pass European standards in exceptional circumstances related to public security. Damn. The text will need to go through technical tinkering and has to be approved by European countries in the EU Parliament before it officially enters into law. Once it is enforced, tech companies have 2 years to implement the rules. The ban on AI uses will apply after 6 months. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a good step forward. I think it's made with good intent. I don't think it's bad. I think it's made with good intent. I think the intent is there, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if it even pass to begin with. Yeah, I think that the biggest news right now, the biggest news, at least in the IT realm, is the freaking sheesh is United Health Group. Like I've been reading it. I've not really been talking about it on my channel, but it's interesting. It's the biggest. I think it's the biggest payment of a ransom attack, which is $20 million. And it's been developing that some of the files are still encrypted, which is crazy. And not only are they still encrypted, not only is it still encrypted, they're just now discovering the vulnerabilities behind it, like how the vector, how they got in, which is interesting. Let's see. Yeah, bro. It's 22 million. They paid 22 M for to get their file back. But it's the funny thing is, because guess what? They didn't get shit. Yeah, they didn't get nothing. So that's kind of sad. I think usually yeah. Also, if you're just coming in, I'm wearing the glasses because it's light sensitivity. I'm not just being a jerk. I think I don't remember what my point was gonna be, but I think hospitals had a point where they would be spared from ransomware attack. I think there was one. I don't remember when it was or what group did it, but they hacked this hospital and they apologized. They sent the keys for free because hospitals were not part of the list, or that group did not attack hospitals. But now hospitals are some of the most targeted because obviously, why not, right? Especially if they're going to pay $20 million to get their files back, and without their systems, they simply cannot do things. Like they cannot, give you care. Basically, they can access your patient files, like, because everything is freaking stored on Epic, which is an EHR system. But anyways, I think it's gonna be interesting. And hospitals are supposed to be secure, but they're not. Like healthcare in general isn't really secure. They're supposed to be, but they're not. There's plenty of holes, like especially like dentistry offices. Like I'm surprised hackers haven't started like killing some of those. Like some of those machines are still a Windows 7. Like how? Like some of the machines that scan your freaking head or scan your teeth, if you ever take a look at the bottom, they're still in Windows 7, outdated, not even being patched anymore by Microsoft. And they're supposedly hold your your HR record, not HR, like damn, HIPAA records. You know what I mean? Like, and it's still not secure. So, shit, go figure. I guess that's more of the timeline, but I just wanted to show like how much they claim that United Health paid them, 22 million, just so they can get their data back. That's a lot. That's a lot. Well, now worth about 23 million as the value of the cryptocurrency rises. I mean, those dudes made up in the sunset with it. Oh, they're selling Telegram. Good for them. Nope, I don't want to sign in. United Health Group cyber attack timeline overview and 2023 review. I mean, I think hospitals should be spared, bruh. Like, come on, bro. But again, these dudes are money hungry. They don't care who dies. Like, they don't really care. Like, seriously. I wonder if this was like hacktivism, to be honest. But I'm sure it wasn't, though. According to this article from Reuters, Change Healthcare processes about 50% of medical claims in the US. God damn. Just like Epic. Epic is like 90% of the EHR market. Like all of your health data, like 90%, if not a little bit more, is hosted. What is Epic market share? It's Epic Systems. I don't want it to bring Epic Game. Like it's the same crap, bro. Like if Epic, so some of their good thing is some of their, I know a little bit about them. Some of their systems are hosted directly on-prem at the client, right, on the client side. So it's not all hosted at Epic's warehouse, like data warehouse or servers, but some are there. Like some hospitals host their shit with Epic, or some clinics, right? And no, that's not accurate. 31%. I thought it was more. I'm talking about like the global market share. It's a lot. Long story short, it's a lot. It's like majority of like hospitals and places uses Epic, but if they get hacked, that's like a majority population of the U.S., bro. That's like their data is attached to Epic some way and somehow. Like, and it's crazy, and it's a private company, so nobody really really, you know what I'm saying, auditing them like that. I don't think they're not under the same scrutiny as a public company to disclose shit. Giving Epic the biggest hospital market share, with nearly 36% of acute care hospital of the U.S. using its platform. But anyways, let's go back to the story. Same thing here. Like, so many people depend on that company, and when their data gets hacked, that's a lot of services that's not getting provided. 33,000 pharmacies, 5,500 hospitals, and 600 laboratories. The cyber attack led to an outage of Change Healthcare service offering, including prescription deliveries and claims processing. It is safe to say that the impact of the cyber attack is not so small that it can be just shrugged off. Like, there's a lot of carelessness that goes on at like companies, dude. Like, especially on the IT side, because IT for most companies is regarded as a loss or as a cost center. Like, IT doesn't really make money until they stop a cyber attack, until they prevent until they have a BDR in place, like a backup disaster recovery that bring back the business back up after a disaster happened. Until they start making shit more efficient. IT they don't really look at it like something that makes money unless it's an IT company. So, yeah. So just to say, like, a hospital is not looking at IT like some real department that's providing really good value to them. Besides, it's necessary for them to accomplish shit in the modern age, if that makes sense. Yeah, in the future though, it's gonna be way more hospitals that get hacked for sure, for sure. Another topic I have to address is the trend toward increasing medical care ratio throughout the sector. For instance, UNH's medical peer, Humana, is down 24% year to date due to every week outlook regarding medical costs. Man, these people are still gonna make their money. Okay, they're not starving out for money. I don't think that's the problem here. If they have enough money to pay out $22 million rent somewhere, I don't think that's the problem, honestly. Let's see. It's a lot of steps of what occurred. Anyways, an attack vector is the thing that they used to attack you, or how they got in, like how things that they tested against to see if they could get in that door. That's more like what the attack vector is, or when they say like the attack surface, the vector is like what they use to get in. What is going on, man? Okay. Yeah. So this is the little robot I was just talking about earlier. I don't think you can see. Let me turn off my camera. This is the little robot I was talking about earlier that you see on the right corner. Like when people see it now, when they do it, they be like, "Oh, this is AI." When we've been talking to those little cyber robots, you know what I'm saying? We've been doing that, but now it's just all a marketing gimmick. Oh, now with AI. It's crazy shit. Oh. Change Healthcare locates ransomware attack vector. Oh, I wanna hear what it is. Please tell me more. I cannot wait. I am wetting my pants. Cybersecurity dive. Change Healthcare locates ransomware attack vector. I think what's that two company? Palo Alto is helping them do the investigation on this. United Health Group said it identified the source of the intrusion into Change Healthcare systems, which remains partially non-operational following a cyber attack that impaired service nationwide. A thorough and forensic analysis is well underway, the company said in a Wednesday update. Through this analysis, we have identified the source of the intrusion and with high confidence have established a safe restore point. This point allows us to move forward safely and securely in restoring our data and systems. Okay, whatever. But does that mean it is? I mean, if you're restoring back to a secure point, which they got in, is it really secure? I don't know. They're gonna have to do a lot better with auditing their systems, or doing like network auditing, security auditing, firewall auditing, all of that. Oh man, I am exceptionally well fed. A spokesperson for United Health Group declined to identify the attack vector. Mandiant and Palo Alto Network continue to assist with the forensic analysis into the attack. I've never heard of that company, Mandiant. I know Palo Alto. I don't really use their firewall or their appliances on a day-to-day basis, but I've heard of them for sure. Now part of Google Cloud. What do they do? Cybersecurity transformation, incident response, technical assurance. Okay, cool. I mean, this is not really healthy for us. The outage and cascading impact caused by the cyber attack against the healthcare IT platform stretched into the start of the fourth week Thursday. It detected unauthorized activity on the system. I think the way we're gonna go in the future for a lot of services, a lot of very important services, we can't just allow these companies to host them. We have to have the ability to have a private cloud, like for like some of these most important services or systems. Like if the hospital gets hacked, that's just the hospital. Like, and they have to have ways to load balance those systems into different servers. You know what I'm saying? Like, host a freaking server in a different warehouse. Like, if you need to, and it syncs as far as it backs up every couple something, whatever day or hour, whatever the policy can be, right? Instead of like just one point of failure, like just this company that hosts all the data. Like, I think we need to do better on that. Like, yeah, you can have your own data center, but give me the ability to back up this data, my instance, privately. That way, if your system messed up, I can still operate. Like, I think that's the one thing we lost with the whole cloud movement, and it's happening with movies and shit like that. Like, we all know the thing that happened with what company was that? PlayStation or Sony, where a user bought a movie and they were like, oh well, technically you were renting that movie. The movie is our license expired, so we're taking this movie back. Crazy shit. Like, why, if I bought something, why can I hold a copy of it? Like, I bought it. Like, why do I have to care that your license expired? I already purchased this. Anyways, that's a different conversation about something different. But I think that's how the system should work. Like, if something is that important, yeah, you can host it on your cloud. I can access it on your cloud. But give me a back end where I can put that into Veeam or something where it could back up my data. Like, create a carbon copy of my data every, I don't know, hour or something. Whatever resource it takes. I think it's worth it. Like, that way, your company can still function. You can fail over to your own backup and continue to work on that. I don't know. The DHHS opened an investigation into the attack Wednesday to determine if protected health information was stolen. No shit. Of course it was. I think even Stevie Wonder could tell you that. Was data stolen? Yes, data was stolen. Yes, of course it was. To determine if protected health information was stolen and if change comply with privacy and security requirements. Of course not. They didn't. I'll tell you right now, they didn't. Like, that's just one of the biggest problems in healthcare. They do not care. Like, even the small little dental offices, like, if you even try to offer them their services, they do not care. They don't want it. They simply don't want it. They don't want it because it's not bringing them no money. Hey, you just need a little small, Palo Alto firewall or a Fortinet, like a little quick $1,000 device. Have somebody configure it for you and have somebody audit it. It's gonna cost you maybe $5,000. Maybe it's not gonna cost you to be out of business anytime soon. No, they don't want it. Like, that's the problem in healthcare. A lot of your vision data. Do you think those places care about establishing strong anything? And especially, they don't have the money to do it too. No, they just use whatever the 2-3 software that they use, and then they call it a day, my friend. Well, I mean, that's just a system that we've created. Money over our data, money over whatever else. Because money is more important than all that shit. Sheesh. And I mean, this has to be the most, I guess, unappealing news ever. If you're just coming in, I'm not wearing my glasses just because I'm a jerk. I'm wearing it because of light sensitivity. Let me know what you think about my glasses down below. This kid, Jack Doherty. Well, he's not a fucking kid. This adult, young man. Money is nice, you know what I'm saying? Like, but sometimes some of this goofy shit that people do, like, he's 20. He just said that up there. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, why would I be beefing on the internet with him out of everybody? I think everybody take this like macho internet personality thing a little too far. Like, relax. Like, this is the same guy that walks around with his security guards to protect him, and now I'm supposed to take him serious that he's a threat or will cause harm to me? No, it's impossible. I refuse to believe it. He's been going back and forth with Tate, the brother of Andrew Tate. Like, have you seen, this guy is a fucking built ass motherfucker. There's no way this dude Jack Doherty will stand in front of him like in real life to talk shit. Besides all the antics they have going on, just in general. How much money did you make at 20 though? I hate when people talk about money, dude. Like I hate when people, the first thing that they talk about is I got more money than you do. That's such a lame conversation. And another person that do that a lot is Meek Mill. A lot of rappers do that in general, but I hate when they do that. It's like you have nothing else to debate on besides money. Oh, them big kissing is crazy. Oh, I can keep scrolling on Twitter. Twitter is crazy. Yeah, no, we can't do that. We can't keep scrolling on Twitter. Twitter is ridiculous. How much money did you make at 20 though? Ha ha. You can compare us. I've done way more at my age than you did. You might have figured out earlier than you. Huh? I don't know. That's how I imagine him saying that. Yeah, them niggas in a cult. But he's been going back and forth with Jack Doherty. I don't know if I'm gonna find this shit here. I really don't want to find it anyways. But I just think it's hilarious that he's having a back and forth with him when he could literally get sacked. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Look at like besides money, come on, bro. That's a little pocket fold, nigga. That's a little fucking snack. I guess two people stole his car. Yeah. A lot of this shit I can't believe. It's just made up content. Maybe his car didn't get broken into, but at this point I don't believe anything. I feel like everything is content. This is the same kid. Like sometimes, bro, I
feel it yet? No, she doesn't feel it. You fuck. Take more Viagra. She doesn't feel it because you don't know how to fuck. You don't know how to be a man. You're a cock. You're the type that lets your wife get doing OnlyFans and get fucked by a black guy like Adam 22.
Some of the things I'd be asking myself is like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? You know, when it comes to YouTube, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Like for him to like become such a popular figure on YouTube and making, I guess money isn't everything, like I was saying. Like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Like, why do few people find that entertaining instead of like a real conversation? I don't know. It's very interesting, honestly. Like at least somebody who's funny, maybe I can see it. But if there's nobody like just he's not being funny, I don't see none of the shit he do as funny. It's more like cringe type shit. I don't get it, bro. I mean, but then I may be part of a different generation too. So that's that shit. This picture made Tate the talisman so insecure that he felt the need to make a comment clarifying that a 20-year-old is poorer than him. Congrats, Tristan. How much money did you have at 20? Question mark. Laughing emoji. Big watch, big money. Ha ha. I'm rich. Congratulations on all your success, dude. She's still a corny ass motherfucker though. Two things can be true at the same time. You know what I'm saying? You could be rich and you're still a corny, bro. Jack Doherty has officially become the newest keyboard warrior next to Dylan Dennis. Little boy, that's prop money. We need the ability to zoom in. I mean, either way, shit, even if it's prop money or if it's like rented car, it still costs a lot of money to rent that shit. So, shit, props to him. I guess he's replying to Drama Alert. No, we aren't. You felt the need to clarify that you're not poorer than me. I'd expect you to have something better to do than spew hatred online to someone half your age. Hate never comes from above. Praying hand emoji, double hands up. money. That's all. That's all I can imagine him typing this out. Just like completely like, I don't care what anyone say. I don't care what anyone says. I will never be in my late 30s hitting on someone half my age behind a keyboard. Like, at what age did you grow up and hop off the Twitter to spend time with your kids? Question mark, laughing emoji, ha. That shit is ridiculous, bro. Actually fucking ridiculous. Crazy. At what age do you fight your own battles instead of standing behind security guards 24/7? That's a good question. That's a good question. This guy is notorious for this shit. Like, he's still got a baby face. That nigga, he's never been punched a day in his life. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been punched neither, but besides, you know, in boxing. But, you know, we all have our battles. Let's choose. We got to choose. I think the beef is done. Everybody went home and had a taco dinner instead. But I just thought this whole thing was like moist. To say the least. It's moist. It's not real beef. It's like you know, it's moist. I don't know how else to put it. It's wet. It's wet. It's a little wet. Talking about boxing, dude. Like, I think I talked a lot about how I watch MMA and how I love watching boxing and fighting and shit like that. I was on Twitter and I saw this and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I'm like, bro, this either is a joke or promotion or like a cross something going on. There's no fucking way. This guy, this black dude on the left is Lil TJ. You may not be familiar with him. I don't know none of his music because I don't listen to rap, unlike you would believe. I listen to rap, of course, but it's not my favorite like genre to go to. Like, I listen to some artists, of course, if it's a popular song or my friend sent it to me. Long story short, anyways, this is Lil TJ. This is Alex Pereira, of course. If you don't know him, you don't watch UFC. He allegedly or apparently in a sparring session, mind you, this guy is punching like a freaking, I don't know. He's punching like he's swatting flies, and he apparently knocked down Alex Pereira. Look at this shit.
What the fuck did you do, bro?
Caralho, que isso, velho?
That laugh is crazy. I feel like he barely touched his chin too. Look. You see how it fly by his ear? Like, look at even the right. Look at the right. It barely touched him. And the left missed him. Look at that left. That left, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to throw a jab. I don't know if he's throwing an uppercut. I don't know what he's throwing right there. I don't know if he's throwing a cross. I don't know what he's doing. He's just punching shit. And he knocked him out. I think this was all fun, bro. Like, I was just reading it like, this is all fun. If this is for real, this dude career is over, bro. Alex Pereira needs to go home and pack it up. He needs to pack it up. Pack it up. Just go home. Just shit is over for you, bro. Hell no, bro. I want to see more, bro. I want to see more. Lil TJ versus Alex. I'm still new to Twitter. I don't know how to search for stuff. I want to see the fight. Okay, I found it. I want to see that fight in the middle, like when it first started. Look at this. Tell me what's going on. Lil TJ met KO Lil champion Alex Pereira, and knew That is hilarious, bro. Look how he's punching though.
Oh shit! I see that heat behind that shit.
The hand movements are wild. Look at the hand movements. Look at the space you have open, bro.
What the fuck did you do, bro?
Caralho, que isso, velho?
That's good. He's raising his confidence up. That's what's up.
He's fucked with you, bro.
That's what's up, bro. He raising his confidence.
Oh shit! I see that heat behind that.
Look at the little jump right here. I guess he's warming up. I don't know what he's doing. I'm holding what the intentions were there. I don't know if you think this is Donkey Kong. When niggas fight, it's always like like a video game or some shit. Like they said Donkey Kong, bro. You're fighting a professional UFC fighter, bro, like a freaking kickboxing champion. And you doing that little dance, bro, and you knock him out. Come on, dog. This shit fake, bro.
Oh shit!
Look at the space. Look at the
That
space.
heat
Look at
behind
the
that
space.
shit.
Bum. Look at the body too. All I was looking at was his body. Look at this side right here. Look at this
That
side.
heat behind that shit.
When he do that little block, look at the.
Stop playing with him.
Even the left hand, bro. All the side is exposed. That's just some donkey shit. That's all I gotta say. It's some donkey shit, bro. I don't know, bro. Donkey shit, bro. It's all fun. It's all fun. I think it's all fun. People are taking it, of course. Like some people are like, "Oh, the champ is done. If that was real, the champ is done." I think it's all for fun. Because ain't no fucking way. I don't care about this. Okay. I think this is the portion where I think again, if you're just coming in, I'm wearing the glasses because of light sensitivity, not because I want to be an asshole or a jerk. I think it's the portion of this where I say what I'm about to cover. I support the cops, and some of my opinion here is strict, and I will tell you why I have this opinion that I do. Just stick with me. You have the right to disagree with me. You don't have to agree with everything people say. That's what makes the First Amendment great. You can disagree with me. You can have a difference of opinion with me. That doesn't mean you're right and I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things are based in facts, but if it's an opinion, so it's an opinion, you can have it. I support the police. I think the defund the police was some of the dumbest fucking chants or some of the dumbest shit people has ever come out with. If somebody fucking break in my apartment right now, I am calling the police right now, 100%. When the police pull me over, I am compliant. I raise my hand at the window. I present them my ID. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I shut the fuck up and move on. I do not tell them more than I need to tell them. I just provide them what they need and I move on. I don't want to be a hard ass. I'm not trying to be a hard ass. I'm just trying to get on about my day and move on with my life. But anyways, I just had to put that little disclaimer because some of my thoughts are less than lovely for this one. The shooting of Uvalde that happened was released. At least some footage was released. Let's look at some of it together.
We do have a child on the line.
This was the moment everything at the scene in Uvalde should have changed. At 12:10 p.m. on May 24th, fourth grader Chloe Torres, who survived the shooting, was inside room 112 at Robb Elementary and spoke to 911. Police just a few feet away in the hallway were just minutes later made aware the worst-case scenario was unfolding. Chloe, along with her classmates and teachers, some dead or dying, were alone, trapped with an active shooter. It's the phone call that should have made the difference. Instead, it would be another 40 minutes until police finally enter the room.
That's the thing that's crazy. It's one shooter, bro. One. Look how many long guns these dudes have. And see how many of them there are in there. They waited 40-something minutes. Let's say 30 for good measure. 30 minutes. And people are gonna be like, since you're such a tough guy, why don't you just go in there and kill the school shooter yourself? Sir, it's the same shit as saying, I want to become a pilot, but I'm afraid of heights. Like, don't become a fucking pilot, okay? Nobody told you to go sign up to be a police officer. You decided to do that. That's why I didn't do it. You know? Because I'm not saying this because I'm brave. I have the right to criticize what they're doing. Like, if you decide to become a police officer, you fucking agreed to this shit. You are there to protect and serve. You at that point, you're failing those citizens, those kids. Don't sign up to be a pilot if you're afraid of heights. Like that's what I'm saying. Don't go to the fucking military if you don't want to go to war. Like, imagine somebody in the Marines be like, no, I don't want to go to Afghanistan. That's not what I signed up for. I just want free education. I just want a free education. I just want the GI Bill and that's it. Like, this is the same shit. Like, I support police, and I think they have a right to exist. And I think society in general needs policing. We need stronger policing. We need stronger laws to hold these criminals accountable, especially these people breaking into Target and stealing freaking groceries and ransacking stores. Throw them motherfuckers away. I work every day for my shit. Okay, I'm not letting you. It's not like I'm gonna stop them if I see them stealing. Fuck that. I'm not putting my life at risk for nobody, like, especially for freaking merchandise. What I'm saying is, throw them away, lock them up, because I don't want them to affect how much taxes I pay how much taxes I'm paying as well, or my groceries going up because of how much they're stealing, and these companies trying to make their money back and they're just upping prices. Okay, I'm just saying I am for law enforcement. I am for stricter laws that are thoughtful in nature and not just targeting a certain group or certain races. Anyways, I think I'm going deeper than I wanted to go into this, but I was watching this. I was like, man, that's fucking crazy. But people would still say, since you're such a tough guy, why don't you go into that school with a gun and do? Motherfucker, they signed up for this. They literally signed up for this. Nobody signed them up for it.
Killed the gunman. CNN has obtained a call never made public until now. A warning to our viewers, it's painful to hear. We're choosing to play portions of the audio with the approval of Chloe's parents, and because it is crucial to understanding the full scope of the law enforcement failure that day.
Hello?
I'm calling with the police. Are you okay?
No, there's a school shooting.
Okay, yes, ma'am. I have multiple units there. Are you with officers or are you barricaded somewhere?
I'm in classroom. What's the classroom number? 1012.
112?
112. 112, yes, ma'am.
What's your name, ma'am?
Chloe Torres, please hurry. There's a lot of dead bodies.
Hold on, okay? You said you're in classroom 112?
Yes, ma'am. Please, some help.
You can hear injured people in the room crying out in pain.
Bro, that shit is like, I don't even know that kid, okay? And I mean, you don't need to know somebody to have like to feel some kind of emotion. Like, imagine that was your fucking kid, dog. Like, put yourself in their shoe. Yes, these officers have family as well. I just want to keep it. I want to see all angles. That's the type of person I want to see all angles and see everything. But imagine that was your kid in that classroom, just like waiting 40 fucking minutes for all these cops with all these long guns to face one person. One person.
The dispatcher asks Chloe to tell her classmates to stay quiet. She does her best.
You told them they need to be quiet.
I am. I'm telling everybody to cover their mouth. Nobody listening to me. I know how to handle these situations. My dad taught me when I was a little girl.
Oh, that's so heartbreaking, bro.
Thanks hope some of my teachers are still alive, but they're shot.
Less than 2 minutes
That's
into
so
the call at
heartbreaking,
12:12 p.m., the Uvalde dispatcher sends an urgent message to police on the scene.
320. Go ahead with that child's information relay.
Officer child is advising he is in the room full of victims at this moment.
Uvalde, can you confirm to see if that shooter is still standing, or is he shot himself?
If active shooter protocol had been followed, This dispatch should have triggered police to spring into action and breach the classroom.
Look how many
Instead,
of these bastards
38
there are,
minutes
bro.
were.
That's the thing but if it was a fucking traffic stop, they'll slam you on your fucking head and act like dickheads. I see so many videos of cops misabusing their power. Of course, they put their life in danger. Like, that's no doubt. Like I keep saying, like I think cops deserve to exist. Doesn't mean I have to like them in general. You know what I'm saying? But I think they're doing their job. Just like I do my fucking job when I go to work. Do your job. That's all I'm saying. Your job is not to sit there and look pretty and get paid. Your job is not to abuse your power and slam people on their heads and shoot at people because you think they're shouting at you, but it's actually a fucking acorn. Like, this shit is crazy, bro. I don't think you understand. 40 minutes, bro. And you have all these people just standing around while those kids are dying inside.
To go by as more officers arrive on scene with more equipment until something is done. Nearly 400 officers responded in Uvalde.
400? Oh, God. Bro, I think like I'm really like worked up about shit, but bro, 400 officers versus 1. That's a fucking crazy ratio. 400 to 1. And they have so many protective vests. They have freaking shields, riot shields. They have everything. And none of them did anything. A whole bunch of fucking cowards, if you ask me. Again, that doesn't mean I'm gonna go inside that school and, you know, point my little pistol at them. No, that's not what the fuck I'm saying. But if it comes time for me to defend my family, you best believe that will happen. I'm not a fucking tough guy. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a superhero. I don't wear a fucking cape. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you don't sign up to be a pilot if you're scared of heights. Okay? You don't go to the military if you don't want to go to war. You don't become a police officer if you're just gonna stand there and look pretty. That's all I'm saying. That's not what you signed up for. You don't sign up there to stand and wait for everybody to get killed and for the killer to hurt himself. No, that's not how this shit works.
Chloe wanted to know where they were.
How far are y'all away?
They're inside of the building, okay? You just stay quiet, okay?
They could have gotten that little girl hurt, bro. Because if this person heard her speak, my God, bro.
Like the building, you just need to stay quiet.
On the other side of the door, the law enforcement response was disorganized and chaotic. Official reports detailed a catastrophic mistake that was made. Police on scene thought the shooter was a barricaded subject and not an active shooter. Chloe's call makes it clear an active shooter situation is unfolding. Body camera footage from local and state police departments obtained by CNN shows the officers on scene knew about the phone call and that there were children inside the room, hurt and in desperate need of medical attention.
We don't know if he has anybody in the room with him. I think he does. He does. 8 or 9 children.
These are... No, we hadn't heard that. No, we're in the 4s, right? This is building 4s.
Anybody hurt?
No, not here. No, sir.
Yes, there are.
Here?
Yeah. EMS in there already? No, sir. We have an active shooter in there.
Yeah.
He's in here.
He's in here. Yeah.
I'm just gonna stand right here. Be ready. The last contact. Hey, hold on. Last contact we had was one of our school PD officers. His wife was a teacher. She called him saying she's not. They just had a kid in room 12. Yeah, they had a kid in room 12. Multiple victims. Room 12.
No, you think? You think? Like we're taking too long. You think?
Last contact we had was one of our school PD officers. His wife was a teacher. She called him saying she's not. They just had a kid in room 12. Yeah, they had a kid in room 12. Multiple victims. Room 12.
Bro, I don't have any children or any kids like that, bro. But I feel like if I have kids, I want to be in a situation where I can send them to school privately. Like the teachers come home and teach them fucking math and science, bro. like this shit is ridiculous, bro. To depend on these cops, it's a mistake, bro. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. That's all I'm saying, bro. This is some of the reaction that the cops have afterwards. Again, I'm not saying I'm a tough guy. I'm not saying this wouldn't happen to me neither. But I didn't sign up to be this shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't sign up to do this. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. They're just throwing up.
Nothing.
This is just like another proof or another point to show like, yeah, these cops, they're just another like gang of people, okay? They're just like, just because they're in numbers and with these big guns doesn't mean they're like big, tough, like strong guys. Doesn't mean that. If you sign up to be a cop, be a freaking cop, you know what I'm saying? Protect and serve. Don't become a pilot if you're afraid of heights. Okay, don't do that. That's dumb. Hey, what's up, Adriana? What's poppin'? Yeah, I think it's more than one. I think that whole group lacked leadership. Nobody said, "Fuck this, I'm going in." Nobody said that, bro. Nobody thought about like the kids dying. Everybody just stand there and just took pictures and looked cute and just talked like buddies, like while these kids were dying. You see them at the door, they were just chatting like while those kids were in danger inside. There's another even crazier video of them running away. 400 officers running away from one single cop. Yo, that's crazy. That is ridiculous. This was an inside job, I bet. Shooting in the school. That's the Uvalde shooting. That's the video of it. Like it's wild. It's crazy. It's 400 cops versus one guy. Shots fired. It's like 2, 3 shots fired. Look at them dudes. Look. That's crazy. Like, you can tell me that's not crazy. I don't care if you're the biggest bootlicker ever exists. You can tell me that's not crazy. That's crazy. That's wild. Look, just in this little hallway. 1, 2, 3. Just people on screen that we can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cops. All with like assault style firearms. They even have a protective shield, full on army gear, and they can face one guy? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You should hang up the jersey, bro. Hang it up. They're doing nothing. I guess they finally grew some pairs. I guess the two dudes up front led the charge. I guess they got the biggest balls in this whole thing. Jesus Christ. Let's see how many dudes this is. They're still scared. I think that's EMS though. What's the likeliness of them shooting each other? All their firearms are pointed at each other on the back of each other. This dude right here is definitely flagging this dude. This dude is definitely flagging this dude. Look what's the point of this fucking single file line shit. Running. I mean, it's so easy for me to say what I would have done. Again, like I said, that's why I didn't sign up to be a fucking cop, because I'm not in this situation. But if you sign up to be in that situation, dude, like, you got to be in it. Like, you don't sign up to go to war and, you know, when the plane is ready to drop you off, you say you're not getting off. That shit doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? bet some of them they had. I don't know if any of them had their kids going to that school. Like I wonder. Oh my God, that shit is crazy though, man. Like that shit is crazy. Like that shit is ridiculous. Like do something. Somebody needs to pick up a stick. Something. Do something. Don't just stand there. I think I was gonna talk about the fucking pastor and brother. I was gonna talk about the pastor that got arrested in New York, but I don't care that much about that shit. We been know, like we already know these dudes. That's what they're doing. They out here scamming the people, preaching the gospel, scamming the community, scamming people in general, just doing devious shit. And people still gonna be like, oh no, they misjudged him. He was preaching the word of God, Sonny, don't you see? God told him to do that. Like, it's not even that long ago that I talk about this dude that scammed the church and said God told him to do it. There's this other black pastor out of New York that got found guilty on some like crazy charges, bro. Like it's kind of crazy. Like he's been found guilty of wire fraud, extortion, and lying to the FBI. He faces 45 years. Yes, you heard me right. This is a pastor that you're looking at. Yep. He every Sunday he wakes up, he brushes his teeth, and he put on a big old suit, and he preaches the word of God. Yes, that's him. Yep, you heard me right. His sins are lesser than mine, apparently, because he's preaching the word. I'm just joking. Yeah, I don't respect these motherfucking what do you call these people? The wolf and sheep scheme. That's what they are, bro. That's all they are, bro. They're not preaching nothing to me, at least not to me. It's crazy. Yeah, that is ridiculous if you ask me. Like these, yeah, I agree. I can agree more with you. Like these, hold on. These dudes, it's so many of them. Like it's so many of them. Adriana says misleading and polluting the world. Yes, Adriana. Yes, I agree. Like, but I don't know, like if you're religious or not. I am more of the, not that you ask, agnostic view of things. I think something created this fucking planet, okay? I don't believe in the black Jesus or the white Jesus that created this fucking world and make everything exist. Maybe something did create us. Maybe we were just a science experiment gone right or gone wrong. Depends on how you're looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody did create this. I think something. I don't know what it is. It could have just been the Big Bang Theory. It could have been a master simulator creator. I don't know, the best programmer that has ever been known to this universe. I don't know. But people use this religion so often to like extort people, get money from people, just do all kind of crazy stuff. And people somehow just be like, what happened? Like, yeah, it was done in the name of God. I think the most important thing I always say, it's like, yes, I think you can differentiate the two things. You can differentiate like God and Jesus in church and the people that's passing the messages, because I think there's a lot of charlatans. People always take advantage of shit, but it's so many of them. And the people in the churches don't want to hold these people accountable. They always be like, they always have some excuse. Because I remember very clearly, there's this guy in Florida that abused a young child. Okay? The cops arrested him with proof that he abused this child. And because he was in the church for so long, the church literally had a prayer for him without praying for the child, mind you. They had a prayer for the guy. I bet he wasn't at fault. It was blah, blah. Like, what? Like, what? Are you serious? Are you guys really doing this right now? Are you really praying for this creep predator? Are you serious? Instead of like praying for this child well-being, or do you even care the fact that she got abused by a fucking grown man with kids and wife at home just because they preach the word of God to you every day? Are you serious? I think a lot of church people do that. They don't want to take accountability for the wrong that's being done within the church. They just brush it under the rug. I'm not saying all churches do that, but I'm sure it happens in a lot more churches than you think. I don't even want to get into the Catholic Church. I don't even want to get there. And all the wrong deeds they do to young boys. I don't even want to get there. That is the most apparent and obvious one, and nothing is happening to them. People are discovering it. Oh, it's just a few bad apples. When the whole tree is bad. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, it's just a few bad apples. The whole tree is bad. Cut the whole tree down. It's just the whole tree. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think more people of faith should hold these charlatans accountable. Like, I think God will love you regardless if you go to church or if you don't. So especially if you of the word. If you do other things that God said to do, like give him praise. You could give him praise in your house. You don't have to be in a church. You could give him praise and assemble in your house. Bring your family in there. You assemble together and you pray. Is God less likely to see you in your house? I don't know. Anyways, like I'm just saying, these people, they're despicable to like religion in general. Like, and somehow they have a platform. Their voices are loud. They've heard. They hear they getting a lot of money. They getting rich of the word of God, and somehow people still contribute to their freaking retirement funds. They pay no taxes on it, and they still pay. It's crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. You know, one thing I've been like I would say kind of addicted to lately. It's watching airplane crashes. It's not funny. It's not really airplane crashes. It's more like deep dives on how certain accidents happen. I found this channel called Green Dot Aviation. It's so good. Like, I be binge watching the fuck out of this shit. This shit is so good. It's like it goes through different things that
miles above the ocean
during I watched this whole documentary. This was so good. That the things that occur when a plane crashed, and all of this got me thinking about the Boeing stuff that's going on. Like, I'm supposed to be traveling to Texas for my brother's Air Force graduation. And I swear to you, I've been the most picky. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the government own a piece of Boeing, of course. I mean, it's like the U.S. only manufacturer, of course. Of course. Like, but like, it's affecting me so much where I am specifically looking at the tickets to go to Texas, and I am looking to see if it's a Boeing. I would have been booked a ticket, but I'm looking to see if it's a Boeing flight before I book my ticket, because that shit scares me, bro. That shit literally scares me. Because I'm like, bro, the government isn't really doing jack shit. The FAA is allegedly investigating what's going on. The whistleblower that whistle blow whatever, that Boeing, something was wrong going on there, he's dead. Like, what else you want me to do, man? Let me be scared for a second. Hold up. Let me be scared for a second. There's nothing wrong with being scared. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this channel is so good. So much good stuff on there, man. I'm trying to look at a shorter one. Like, if it's not Airbus, I'm not going, man. Because I'm just one plane away from dying. One flight away from dying. Like, I'm not doing it. Yeah. Maybe. Adriana said, that's what I said. That's an inside job. Maybe just to get rid of a few people, you know. You gotta do population control somehow. Oh man, I've been watching so many like conspiracy type shit. I've watched this documentary on Netflix called it's called The Octopus Murders. It's so good. Like it's well, not so good. I would give it like a good 7 out of 10. I didn't like the ending. I didn't like how they didn't wrap everything at the end. But it goes into like shit that the government is doing under the table, how murders are happening, and people think it's conspiracies until we know proven otherwise. These companies are really out here killing people. The government is really out here killing people and making it look like you offed yourself. This shit is really happening in real life, and that's basically what this movie goes through. All these suspicious murders that happened surrounding this specific situation, and it's so many webs, and it's really fun. It's really fun. I haven't watched this one. It's really short. Yeah. We watched this one because
it's Halloween night in the year 2000, and a Boeing 747 crawls onto the runway at Taiwan. Amid howling winds and piercing rain, the pilots strain to see out their windscreens. As they push their 4 massive engines to take off thrust, they have no idea that just ahead of them, a terrifying surprise awaits. This is the horrifying story of Singapore Airlines Flight 6. October 31st, 2000. It's Halloween night in Taipei, and the weather was fitting. Typhoon Zhangzan was fast approaching, and already its outer reaches were beginning to batter the airport. Winds as high as 100 kilometers per hour buffeted the aircraft on the tarmac as heavy rain pelted the terminal. But safely on board a Boeing 747 operated by Singapore Airlines, 159 passengers from 20 different countries settled in for what was expected to be an uneventful overnight flight. Despite the variety of nationalities on board, most of the passengers were from the United States and Taiwan. 77 of them had actually boarded the aircraft hours earlier in Singapore, while the other 82 had just boarded in Taipei, along with the flight crew. That flight crew consisted of 3 well-rested pilots who had arrived in Taipei 24 hours previously. The captain, Fung Chi.
I think this might not be interesting to other people, but like the first, I guess, career love that I ever had was to become a pilot. I didn't do it because somebody in my family told me. Now I think it's dumb. Like, how many black pilots do you see? Like, sit the fuck down. You're not gonna become a pilot. And that shit literally broke my dream. Like, I would have become a pilot. That would have been my career. Like, because I loved aviation. At least I would have become a aviation mechanic or some shit like that. But that shit literally crushed my dream. So computers was the second choice. So I went computer in the computer field.
Kong was a Malaysian national, and at 41 years of age, he had over 11,000 flying hours to his name. He had been repeatedly assessed by the airline to be an above-average pilot, with colleagues describing him as one of the better pilots at Singapore Airlines. He had also been described as a friendly and approachable person off-duty. The only nick in his record was that 13 years previously, he had done a bit of a noisy departure out of Zurich in Switzerland, and received a letter from the airline asking him to stick more rigidly to the noise abatement procedure there. Not the worst of crimes, although with the wind howling like it was on this night, noise shouldn't be a problem. The first officer was 36-year-old Singaporean Latif Sairano. Sairano was much less experienced than the captain, with about 2,500 hours of total flying time, 500 of which...
Oh, what you making? I know, you know what's crazy? Every time I tell the story, like I don't think I've ever told it publicly, but I've told it privately. Like they tell me, yeah, you can still become a pilot. You can still, do it. But I don't think I can become like a commercial pilot. I can do private flying. I can take private lessons, I think. But I don't think I can, because you need flying hours. Unless I'll be very, very old and my vision is gonna decline really bad. I don't think I could be a commercial pilot at that point anymore. But that was literally my first love. That I used to be one of those kids doing the flying simulators and stuff like that. I used to play X-Plane and bought the whole yoke, doing the whole thing. Yeah, yep. That was my dream. Oh, burrito. That's what I'm talking about. Enjoy. I had earlier. I had eaten some some chicken. It was really good, and chicken salmon, and some white rice.
We're on the 747. Colleagues had described him as above average, disciplined, and not hesitant to speak out if he saw safety issues on a flight. Sitting behind the captain and first officer was another first officer. 38-year-old Singaporean Un Keng Leng would be acting as a relief pilot for this trip, taking over from the first officer over the Pacific Ocean. He would have no specific duties up until this point, other than to keep an eye on what the pilots were doing. He was described as mature and disciplined, with good flying skills, and the potential to become a captain in due course. It's worth pointing out here that Singapore Airlines had an excellent safety record. Its crews were well trained, it had a fleet of state-of-the-art aircraft, and in its 28 years of operation, it had never had a single fatal accident. So, at 11:05 local time, when the plane pushed back from gate B5 at Taipei, the 159 passengers had little reason for concern. They had no idea that far from setting out on a 12-hour flight, their aircraft would never even make it off the ground. Picture the scenario. It's late at night, the weather is poor, and it's getting worse as a typhoon is fast approaching. The pilots have a plane load of people eager to get to their destination. If you watched a few of my videos, you'll immediately have a sense of what's about to happen. Under time pressure and rushing to get airborne before the storm hits, the pilots begin to make mistakes. But this is not the story which is about to unfold. From the get-go, the captain set the opposite tone.
I think the more I watch these videos as well, I think the more I appreciate every time my plane takes off and it lands properly. Because the most common mistakes are like pilot errors and like human errors. I think the technology itself, it fails sometimes, but most of those crashes are literally like human errors. Like either they program the computers incorrectly, they don't know how the computer is working, they don't understand the system, lack of training on the systems, mechanical failures. They didn't inspect the parts properly. They did a shitty job repairing the parts. Sometimes the engines do fail. That happens. But most likely it's a human error.
In the cockpit. What's so strange about what is about to happen is the sheer mismatch between the pilot's level of caution and the terrifying situation they would soon find themselves in. As the most experienced member of the flight crew, the captain elected to taxi the aircraft out to the runway. He would be performing the takeoff and departure out of Taipei. As he taxied out, he emphasized the need to do things slowly and methodically. The first officer's duty, as the plane rolled sedately out to the runway, was to work through the checklists and assist the captain in preparing the aircraft for takeoff. He set the flaps to 20 degrees, and the captain confirmed the takeoff speeds. The plane would be lifting off the runway at a speed of 156 knots, or about 290 kilometers per hour. To put this speed into perspective, the wind itself on this night was gusting to 1/3 of the takeoff speed of the plane, about 100 kilometers per hour. As the two pilots carried out their duties, the relief pilot listened in to the ATIS, which stands for Automatic Terminal Information Service. This is the service provided at all major airports, which pilots can tune into to find out the latest weather at the airport. It was a daunting weather report, right on the verge of being too much to take off in. There was less than 500 meters of visibility, and the winds were gusting to almost 100 kilometers per hour, rocking the plane as it slowly creeped its way through the darkness. Some of the passengers were getting nervous. If these were the conditions on the ground, what would it be like in the air? But in the cockpit, things were very much under control. The captain's attitude was clear. Right now, the winds and visibility were within safe limits for takeoff. If they stayed that way, the plane would depart, and if they got worse, the plane would simply turn around and go back to the gate. No rush and no pressure. This attitude had served him well in his decades of flying, and it had contributed to Singapore Airlines' excellent safety record. If you want to understand what's about to happen, you need to look at this chart. This is an exact copy of the charts the pilots were using on the night. When air traffic control told the pilots to taxi, this is the route they told them to take. Along the Sierras, up the West Cross, left down November Papa, and then up this way to take off on runway 05 left. In the cockpit, when air traffic control...
Bro, it's so much going on. Like the freaking, those freaking people that designed this shit. So sometimes I be thinking like, man, fuck. You, like, as humans, we do so much good. Sometimes I feel like it's too good. like it's too good. We be thinking a little too much. Like relax a little bit. Damn, bro. Like the planes flying is such a beautiful thing to me. Like it's
had given the pilots their taxi route, Page. But while it was a straightforward route, the pilots had to be a bit more careful than usual. It had been more than 3 years since any of them had taken off from this runway. They were much more familiar with runway 6, here, at the south end of the airport. So, as Flight 6 neared the West Cross, the captain confirmed with his colleagues that this turn was the one he needed to make. And, once this was confirmed, he slowly began turning the aircraft to the right using the tiller. He said that he was going to go very slowly, so as not to skid the aircraft in the turn. The last thing he wanted was to skid his $200 million plane into the mud. The relief pilot, from his position behind the pilots, could easily see both of their primary flight displays. He could see that the winds were so strong that they were being picked up by the pitot tubes on the fuselage of the plane, and then represented as changes in airspeed on the pilot's airspeed tapes. With the wind hitting the aircraft from the right-hand side, the captain's instrument and the first officer's instrument were showing different readings of airspeed. It was a peculiarity more than anything else, indicative of the sheer strength of the wind on this night. As the pilots peered out their windscreens through the rain, they heard some good news over the radio. The runway visual range, which is the distance pilots can see along the runway, had gone up from 200 meters earlier to 450 meters. At least for the moment, conditions were improving. It was beginning to look like they would indeed be taking off when they got to the runway. But still, cautious as ever, the captain continued taxiing slowly, at just about 9 knots, or 17 kilometers per hour. In a few short minutes, they would reach the runway. While it was looking increasingly likely that the weather would hold up long enough for them to take off, another problem now reared its head. What if they took off, but then, for some reason, needed to go back to the airport, only for it to have closed due to the weather worsening after they had departed? Previously, they had agreed that if this happened, they could go to Hong Kong or Kaohsiung instead. But both of these had now been closed, as the typhoon made its way north. With the storm closing in, their only option was now Taipei. The pilots were hoping that it would remain a viable option as they neared the runway. Despite the conditions, the pilots were calm and methodical as they discussed the issue. There was no sense of haste or pressure. After a few minutes, the plane had reached the end of the West Cross. The first officer, looking at his taxi chart, confirmed with the captain that he needed to turn left onto the November Papa taxiway, then go all the way down the end. Once there, they would be at the runway. The captain twisted the tiller counterclockwise, and the 747 lumbered left onto taxiway November Papa. Let's have a look at the chart the pilots were using on this night. At this time, Taipei's airport was undergoing a significant change. Runway 05 right at the time was in the process of being converted into a taxiway. The reason for this is that it was too short and too narrow to be of much use anymore, given the sheer size of many of the aircraft which now flew into the airport. It would be much more useful as a taxiway, which would run parallel to runway 05 left, the airport's longest runway. We'll see why this is so important in a moment. If you've looked out the window of a plane while at the airport, you'll be familiar with all the different coloured lights around the place. There's green taxiway centerline lights, blue edge lights, white runway lights, and red approach lights. The colour and positioning of these lights is completely intentional, and it's standardised across the world. There are also markings which can only be found on runways, like these white stripes here, known as piano keys, which signify the start of a runway. But what do you do as an airport when you're converting a runway into a taxiway? What you're supposed to do is to change all of the markings and lighting so that they are suitable for a taxiway. But at Taipei, this hadn't happened. And so, on Halloween night in the year 2000, as the pilots of Singapore Airlines Flight 6 approached the end of taxiway November Papa, they began to fall prey to a series of psychological and systemic errors, which would put them in grave danger. It started at 15 minutes past 11, when the tower controller cleared Flight 6 to line up on the runway. The first officer told the cabin crew to take their seats for takeoff, and he began to read out the before takeoff checklist. As he had his head down in the checklist, the
I
captain
feel like what's about to happen is based on that explanation. It's gonna hit the fence. You're not gonna have enough room to get enough speed to be able to rotate, and that's a big jumbo jet.
was peering through the blackness out the windscreen, carefully following the green lights as they beckoned him onto the runway. He again told his colleagues that he would go slowly as he turned. The white piano keys would be slippery. The controller couldn't see the aircraft through the heavy rain, and he also didn't have ground radar to see its position. If he had, he would have seen that Flight 6 was not lining up on runway 05 left, as he'd instructed them to do, but rather onto runway 05 right. The captain was following the green taxiway lights, which were far closer together in the turn than on the straight path leading up to runway 05 left. In fact, there were only 4 lights in the 200-metre long section of taxiway connecting runway 05 right and left. Legally, there should have been 16 lights, and as if that wasn't bad enough, one of those 4 lights wasn't working, and another was unacceptably dim. In other words, as the captain followed the green lights curving onto runway 05 right, there was very little to tell him that to his left there was another runway lying in the darkness. As the plane lumbered into position, the first officer commented that the PVD had not unshuttered. The PVD, or Paravisual Display, is a unique device installed on the glare shield of some aircraft, whose purpose it is to give pilots a visual indication of whether they are drifting off the runway centerline during low visibility takeoffs. There was a shutter in front of it most of the time, but when the aircraft detected that it was lining up on the runway, it unshuttered, revealing the barber pole-like PVD. It struck the pilots as odd that this had stayed shuttered after they lined up on the runway. Of course, the reason it had was that they had tuned their navigation radios to the frequency for the runway they were supposed to line up on, runway 05 left. They were now over 200 metres from that runway, sitting comfortably on what was now becoming a taxiway. What's more, the pilots knew that runway 05 right was being turned into a taxiway. But in the darkness, and lured in by the green lights, they simply never questioned whether they were in the correct place. What's more, as they sat poised on the threshold, bright green centerline lights extended into the darkness. But these lights were green instead of white like normal runway lights.
Damn, the thing that be getting me too is like everything has to go perfectly fine. even like some of the slightest mistakes literally means you're not making it home from that flight and you're not enjoying the sunshine in California or in Florida or Texas. You know, that's literally all that means. Like everything has to go fine. The pilots have to be on point. The mechanics have to be on point. The inspections, shit is crazy.
Lights should have given the pilots a clue that they were on a taxiway instead of a runway. But they had already made up their minds that this was the right place. Besides, these lights had been green for the runway's entire history, because it had actually originally been a taxiway. Ironically, if the visibility had been worse, the pilots would have been safer. They needed to use the Paravisual Display to take off when visibility was lower than 50 metres. But on this night, they could see 500 metres in front of them. That's why, as they lined up, the captain told his colleagues that it didn't matter about the PVD, because they could see the runway anyway. So, at 16 minutes past 11, the captain put the windscreen wipers on high, switched on the landing lights, and pushed the engines to take off thrust. The engines roared, and the massive aircraft began accelerating down the runway into the darkness. As far as the 159 passengers were concerned, they were now well on their way to Los Angeles. Within a few seconds, Flight 6 was accelerating through 80 knots, about 150 kilometers per hour. The pilots peered through the void ahead of them as more runway came into view through the fog. But moments later, just as they were about to reach takeoff speed, the terrible truth emerged out of the darkness. Sitting right in the middle of the runway, lit up by the aircraft's powerful lights, were bulldozers, excavators, 2 rollers, and rows of concrete barriers. The captain shouted out, but it was too late. Travelling at 150 knots, or about 280 kilometers per hour, the 747 smashed through the concrete barricades and then tore through the construction vehicles. Part of the left wing was ripped off, along with 3 of the aircraft's engines, sending the plane swerving to the left. The fuel tanks ruptured and a huge fireball ignited, enveloping the plane, which split into 3 pieces and then began tumbling down the runway. In a matter of seconds, it was all over. The tower controller saw the massive fireball tearing through the darkness and immediately dispatched the airport fire service. Over 400 responders rushed to the scene. They were there within 3 minutes, but for many on board, it was already too late. These pictures, taken the day after the accident, show the extent of the carnage. Of the 179 people on board, only 96 survived, including the 3 pilots. It was the first and only fatal accident in Singapore Airlines history, and the first fatal accident ever involving a Boeing 747-400. But the same question was on everyone's mind. How had an experienced crew made such a basic error? In the light of day, the sheer senselessness of the mistake became even more apparent with the correct runway being so clearly in view beside the crashed aircraft. This was exactly what investigators focused on when they began their work immediately after the crash. They found that the pilots were misled by the lighting on the runway, especially considering that their home base was Singapore, where controllers changed the colour of the taxiway lighting in front of the pilots to guide them to the runway, instructing them to follow the green. So, on Flight 6, despite the pilots' caution about the weather, when it came to navigating to the runway, they reverted to their usual routine of simply following the green lighting to the runway. It didn't help that the closed runway still had its runway markings and bright centerline lights, despite not being in use. All of this meant that when the pilots turned onto the runway, they subconsciously ignored all of the information telling them that they were not where they were supposed to be. The unshuttered PVD, the off-center ILS deviation scale, and the green centerline lighting. They became victims of the same psychological bias that has taken so many lives in aviation over the years. Confirmation bias. The tendency to interpret new evidence as confirmation of one's existence.
See what I'm saying? Like, most of those things that happens, it's not the computers, the computers rule. It's mostly like human errors, man, just our own arrogance.
Beliefs. In this case, there was just enough information telling the pilots that they were in the right place for them to ignore all of the evidence to the contrary. But how do we improve aviation safety when it's vulnerable to such basic flaws in human cognition? Partly as a result of this accident, many modern aircraft like the newest generation Boeing 747, the Airbus A350, and the Boeing 787, among others, have moving map displays inside the cockpit where pilots can see their position live as they move through the airport, rather than relying on paper maps and charts. This technology alone would have prevented the crash of Flight 6. Pilots now also receive more training on what's known as threat and error management, which requires that they make a note of the dangers and possible mistakes they may make as, say, they taxi out to the runway. On Flight 6, if the pilots had discussed the possibility that they might mistake runway 05 right for 05 left, this accident may not have taken place. Also, airports now face more stringently enforced regulations when it comes to signage and lighting. These layers of protection, covering everything from human factors to avionics, have made this kind of accident far less likely. But the crash...
No. I think it's what I fear as well. When I was talking about getting into a Boeing flight, that's what I fear as well. I fear that it will be my plane that crashed until they decide to make the rules to change the aviation policies. And at that point, it doesn't matter. I'm already dead, folks. I need you to make the rules now, before I hop on this flight, big boy. I need them rules now. That shit is crazy, man. Woo. Anyways, yeah. Thanks, Adriana, for stopping through. Thanks for everybody who stopped through and watched. And, hopefully not my next stream. So hopefully I'll be able to stream some of the things I was talking about as far as like my course that I want to teach to high school students for free. Hopefully I'll be able to stream it of in-class session and use it for something. Use it maybe for content to teach other people that wants to gain access or knowledge into the computer field and they don't have anybody else to teach them about it, or anyone in the field that can give them any I guess advice or best course of action. I don't know everything, of course not, but I'll do my best to answer all the questions that do come up. Anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate you for checking in. Yeah, hopefully I can take my glasses off very soon. My eyes get better. Anyways, it's been your boy, the Yapper. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and yap on. Yes. Mwah. Deuces. Good night, folks. Yeah. That's what I want to do, but I don't know, Adrian. I don't know what the name is. I give the details at the. I'll just give you a quick synapse beforehand. I give all the details at the beginning of the stream. I don't know if I'll put it on a channel. What I plan to do, which is already in motion. I'm talking to the school districts right now as we speak. For the area that I'm in, I'm trying to get a couple of high schools together, and kids 11 to 12th grade who are interested in IT. I'm going to give them like the basics, the foundations, to see if that's something they like, if that's something they want to pursue further. And if it is, good. Like, at least they know, hey, they have interest in this thing and they can pursue it further. And also they could probably use it as a way to get like a very, high school job or some shit like that, like a help desk position. Only I'm doing it because that's what happened to me, basically. When I was in high school, there was a program like that. It was PC support. And I joined that program. Shout out to Miss Handler. And I was in that program since sophomore, freshman year. And I was doing a lot of book work. Come like really junior year, we were really repairing computers. We were repairing computers for people from outside. We're upgrading computers, building computers. If the printers had a problem in the school, sometimes we would help fix them. Projectors, teachers' laptops, we'll handle all of those. Like, it was a really cool program. I got a lot of experience. Also got the certification that I will be training these kids on, or trying to get them to get the A+, CompTIA A+ certification. We'll see how that goes. We'll see where that goes. Of course, it's a pilot program. I just want to be able to give back, quote unquote. If I was in a majorly black population, I would want to do it for black kids. But I just want to do it just as a way to give back. That's something that was, that I'm grateful that happened in my life. So, yeah. Not because I'm a nice guy. No, I'm not a nice guy. I just want to give back. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out. I appreciate that, Adrian. I appreciate that. Yeah. Anyways, you already know what it is. Thanks for checking in with me. I will catch you later, Adriana. Have a good night. Enjoy your burrito. Good night. Deuces. Later.